Have you ever wondered how an abacus works? This ancient counting tool, a precursor to the modern calculator, holds a fascinating history and an ingenious design. Originating thousands of years ago in ancient civilizations, the abacus was used by merchants and traders to keep track of their transactions. Its design is beautifully simple, a series of rods or wires, each adorned with beads. Yet it's within this simplicity that the true genius of the abacus lies. It operates on the principle of place value, the backbone of our numerical system. Each rod or wire represents a different digit, and by moving the beads along these rods, one can perform calculations of surprising complexity. It's a testament to the ingenuity of our ancestors that this simple device can perform the same operations as a modern calculator. Now you must be curious to know how to use this ingenious device. Well, stay tuned. Before we delve into the actual calculations, it's crucial to understand the structure of an abacus. This seemingly simple tool is composed of three main parts: the frame, rods, and beads. The frame is the outer structure that holds everything together, providing stability and form. Inside the frame, we find multiple rods, each holding a number of beads. Now let's talk about these beads. They're divided into two sections, the heaven and the earth. The upper section, or heaven, typically has two beads, each representing the value of 5. The lower section, or earth, contains 5 beads, each symbolizing the value of 1. It's the movement of these beads along the rods that allows us to do calculations. Each rod represents a place value, starting from ones, tens, hundreds, and so forth. With the understanding of the abacus structure, you are one step closer to performing calculations. This ancient device, in its simplicity, holds the potential to process complex mathematical problems. Now, armed with the knowledge of the abacus structure, we can move on to basic calculations. Let's start simple. Imagine you're at a fruit stand and you want to buy 3 apples. Each bead on the lower deck of the abacus represents a single unit. To represent 3 apples, we slide 3 beads on the lower deck towards the beam. Are you following? Great. Now what if you want to add 2 more apples to your basket? Again, you slide 2 beads on the same rod towards the beam. Now you have 5 beads moved towards the beam representing 5 apples. What you've just done is the basic addition operation on the abacus. By sliding beads on the same rod, you've added 3 and 2 to get 5, as simple as that. Now let's look at subtraction. You've eaten one of your apples, so you have 4 left. To represent this on the abacus, simply slide 1 bead away from the beam. Now you have 4 beads moved towards the beam, representing the remaining 4 apples. And that's subtraction in a nutshell. But what happens when you want to subtract more than the number of beads moved towards the beam? Well, that's where the beads on the upper deck come into play. Each bead here represents 5 units. Suppose you want to subtract 6 apples from your basket of 10. Move 2 beads on the upper deck and 5 beads on the lower deck towards the beam to represent 10. To subtract 6, slide 1 bead from the upper deck and 1 bead from the lower deck away from the beam. You're left with 1 bead on the upper deck and 4 on the lower deck, representing 4 apples, and there you have it. Basic addition and subtraction on the abacus, visualized and simplified. The beauty of the abacus lies in the tactile and visual representation of numbers, making mathematical operations intuitive and engaging. As you can see, even those new to the abacus can quickly grasp basic calculations. If you think the abacus is only good for simple sums, think again. Moving beyond the realm of addition and subtraction, the abacus is a surprisingly powerful tool. It can effortlessly handle more complex calculations such as multiplication and division, and it does so in a way that is intuitive and easy to understand. Consider multiplication. Instead of wrestling with long columns of numbers, the abacus allows you to visualize the process, simplifying it into a series of additions. Division too becomes less daunting when you can see the numbers and the process laid out before you. With the abacus, these operations are not just abstract concepts, they become tangible and manageable. It's a tool that takes the fear out of mathematics, transforming it into a game of moving beads. The abacus doesn't just make calculations easier, it changes the way we think about math. It brings numbers to life and helps us to understand them in a whole new light. The abacus truly shines when it comes to these more complex calculations. So, why should you bother learning the abacus in this age of calculators and computers, you might wonder? The answer lies in the unique benefits that this ancient tool offers. Firstly, it significantly improves your mental arithmetic. It's like a gym for your brain, keeping it as fit as a sprinter on the racetrack. Secondly, the abacus gives you a deeper understanding of number relations. Just like knowing the layout of your city helps you navigate it better, understanding the structure of numbers through the abacus helps you maneuver through the world of mathematics with ease. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly, the abacus helps develop crucial life skills such as concentration and observation. When using the abacus, you truly engage with numbers, observing their patterns and relationships, and this focus translates to other areas of life. In essence, the abacus is not just a counting tool but a powerful instrument for mental development.